So here we are at Think Apps by Google App Summit in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And Michael, thank you for joining me today. First of all, I have to start this conversation by congratulating you. Amobear has won the award in the Google Hall of Fame for the Rising App of Vietnam. So again, big congratulations on that.
So my name is Michael. Currently is working as a marketing leader, in charge in both monetization and also the UA for Amobear Group. We have been changing the business model in 2025. For the gaming side, we focus on the puzzle game. For the application side, we're focusing on the AI application, productivities, and tools and utilities. So this is our vision on the products, and we will keep moving on that for the future. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Ad monetization and user acquisition, two very hot topics these days. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about, in the ad monetization space, maybe let's start with that. What are the challenges or opportunities that you see at the moment in the industry? What is taking away your time and resources, and what are you focusing on the AdMon side of things?
Okay, sure. For a couple of years, we just following do the monetize in the old way. Be honest, we just focusing on how to get to the break even as soon as we can. Break even in day zero, day 1, day 3. This is the old way. But technically, currently, probably in this years, all the things happens, changing from the ECPM, everything just coming up, and we finding some difficult on the old way. On the old strategy, technically we cannot get to the break even sooner like that. So we have to changing our model, get to the break even sooner, be more sustainable one, changing the model from the IaaS into the hybrid monetization, IaaS and subscription. This is what we have been doing on these years, changing the model.
Okay, amazing. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about your user acquisition efforts. What is your, let's say, focus there? Are you leveraging maybe any new technologies or focusing on new metrics or trying out some new strategies how to succeed in the game that we call user acquisition?
Okay, sure. Every studio out there is focusing on how we can lowest the CPI as we can. But actually this is not the mainly metrics for the user acquisition. It can be you can have the really low CPI on that to get to the break even sooner. But actually if you want to go with the further profitabilities to go with the terms sustainable, you cannot just only focusing on how to get to reduce the CPI as much as you can. For example, on the at the Amobear, we cannot focusing on the old ways anymore. So we have to change. Even though from the UA side, we list of the important metric. Besides CPI, we see do we acquire the users that have a good retention rate, a good pay start, from new user to trial, how many users they are converting our subscription, how many users they are finishing the activation, finishing the app, go at the end of the app. For example, photo editor app, how many users they are saving your image. A lot of metrics have been listed. So we just measuring how the UAs work, not only focusing on the CPI anymore. CPI is not the key metric anymore for the change.
What I hear is that before it was only about the install and that first action, and now you're taking much more deeper look into what they're doing and how they're using your app or your game, and targeting them to do a specific action for higher quality installs.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and one more thing that I heard from what you were saying is measure, KPI, results. So it seems that you are really data-driven, data-oriented. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, because I think that maybe not all publishers are really data-focused and maybe not running all of the A/B tests and possibilities for optimizations, or maybe they don't have a pipeline. So maybe if you have some advice on that front, on the tools that you're using, and if it's possible to succeed without it.
Data-driven, it's been our cultures at the Amobear, my CEO has been talking like this, you always make decisions. Something on here is the data. You cannot be successful on the business just based on luck. So you need something to prove that you're making the decision right. For about the data-driven mindset, it's a part of our culture. For example, even with the graphic one, the graphic teams for the icon screenshot, not only we're seeing the metrics just from the console, the CBR. What about the conversion rate? Not just be simple like this. You probably know that the icons can impact heavily on the ECPM, on the monetization also, and also on the UA. So we need to setting up a lot of the key metric beside the CBR, conversion rate also. Every department on our company has the metric for doing something, just not visually anymore. You need to be more specific. For the tools, we have been like about the measuring stuff. Common ones, like we're using the MMP. Like Adjust is pretty good. Like Adjust can measuring like the icon spam, the retention rate based on what we custom on the Play Store. So yeah, the NMP has been like doing a lot and helping us a lot on the UA side and both for the product side.
Probably all of the people in the room here also know that APAC is really, really big. It's rising in terms of downloads and revenue. And in that context, it's kind of, why would people need to focus on the quality? Because the numbers are going up anyway, and it's kind of easy to lose that perspective. Okay, do we need to focus on app quality? Do we need to focus on ad quality? What's your take on that front?
Back in the time, like many studio like us, we also just focus on how to make the sooner we get the reinvestment on money, like just routing like that. Like, but like actually, like if you're seeing the like the bigger pictures, policy have been coming up, or the conditions of the policy has been like strike on that to make sure that you are following like the right way. If you keep doing like with the bad quality app, it will hurt user. Like nobody wants to see like an app with a lot of advertisement on that. The market is changing, and also like the studio like facing with the problem like they cannot getting like the as much as profit before. Amobear like seeing like the future is that okay, so like back in the time we just only getting like the ROAS like between like 120, 130. It's not that much if you are only focusing profitability. Besides, we have like several case study. I have been like A/B test on that, and we're seeing that okay, so this situation like we just lead down several things we need to do to make the app getting more like qualities. For example, we reduce the ad impression, a lot of ad impression, and we're seeing like okay, when we like reduce the ad impression, ad unit, the SPM like is going up, like it's contribute like a lot of revenues on the ad unit, and also like the retention rate on the application like go from like the 4% into like 20%. Like it's like the huge gap between like the business mindsets and the user centric, because like the retention like gap is like it's going crazy, and we're seeing like normally like the application lifespan is only like last about like 60 days. But actually, when we have like a good app qualities, like the retention rate, day one like can be surrounding like 25, 30, 35%. But actually, like the lifespan of the application, like it can last for a year. So like we're seeing that like back in the time, we was in robot day one like about like 100%, right? At day 60, we just only get like 130. But if we're focusing on the qualities, like on the day 60, we can get to the 200%. And after that, like day 180, like it can be like 300%. Yeah. If you're focusing on the qualities, the much more effort you put on the qualities, like the higher result you will get. The revenues come from later. Quality come first, money come later. So we like changing a whole mindset on that.
Yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense, and we all know that retention will get you a long way. If you have good retention, that's gonna show in the LTV ultimately, and it's just gonna be like thinking more long term about the goals and what you can achieve, and ultimately it also gives the better user experience. So I think that it's a different kind of mindset that might have been popular a few years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think maybe to wrap up the conversation, Michael, maybe you could share a piece of advice or something that will be valuable for publishers or somebody who's thinking about getting into the apps business, of the mindset and some of the things that need to pay attention to, and what they can do to improve their business.
We just got lucky on that. From my perspective, like sustainable, like come with like the change. If you want to be sustainable, you need to be changing, adapt to the change. Like it's mean like if you want to go bigger, you need to be change yourself. I mean like this is the mindset at our company. My really advice on that, like you need to be changing your way. Like technically everybody keep moving and you keep doing the monetize the same way, like the old way. Like you cannot get better result. Like of course for the Android version, I mean like the hybrid version is a lot of things. It's really good. Right now, Amobear like having like for the application side, we have been changing from 100% IA into like 70% on the IA also, and 30% on the IAP, surrounding that number. And we are aiming for get break-even for the IA and get profitabilities for the subscription. The hybrid models, like everybody is underrated, it's really underrated because like nobody want to like seeing like the money go longer like that. But actually, like my point is like you have to be patient. Subscription is super sustainable, like especially for the weekly subscription. If you're focusing on the product, just be confident to get user to try your app. If they actually like it, your app actually like having some value, and when they renew it, the outcomes like will be like much more than you can imagine it. My advice is for the Android version, change into the hybrid model. Like it's super opportunities for who want to change and who want to see like the future. Everything is changing. And you have to be adapted to the change. And for the iOS also, like subscription has been like the top priority for them. But for the iOS, our vision is that like serving every kind of the user. You probably know that like in the United States, we have like high value user, rich users. The main point is how you can be segments user like that. You need to have like many user flow to serving every kind of the people, every kind of the user you get. And this is kind of my two advice for the Android and the iOS version. You have to be recap. You have to be segment your user for the Android. You can to changing into the hybrid model. Like it's really good right now.
Okay, amazing. I'm sure that will be a helpful advice for some new developers or maybe the ones that are struggling to improve and to make a next step. So thank you for that. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm really glad that you were able to join me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Božo. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure too.